We're here to share with you inspiring stories that bring to life all the little and big ways that people bring more love, joy, laughter, and humanness to everyday life. Our focus is the hunt for those little moments that refuel the human soul and reminds us what life is really all about. I invite you to sit back, enjoy the moments, enjoy the stories, the adventures, and the journeys. I'm going to do an official introduction for our guest, innovator, and content creator. Kerrie Lee Brown is a sought-after journalist, magazine editor, author, speaker, and women's health advocate, as well as newly appointed editor-in-chief of Success Magazine. Throughout her 20-year career in publishing and media, she's written articles for more than 150 publications worldwide and held senior editorial roles at Health and Wellness and Parenting and Luxury Lifestyle. November 2021, Kerrie Lee founded RedLily Media, the parent company of RedLily Women's Lifestyle and Storytelling brand. As a oh, I get so nervous reading bios.
Really?
It's so silly. I think in third grade I had trouble with slight dyslexia. Mm-hmm. So they made me read my book, and it was the most nerve-wracking 2 days of my life in a studio. As a consummate professional, she continues to hone her craft to help others. She share pertinent messages via print and digital media. Kerrie is a proud Canadian living in Denver, Colorado, and a blessed mom of 2 boys who teach her something every day. Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, Jarek.
We're going to start with our very first question, which is the theme of the show, which is, what does the world need more of?
It's such a broad question, isn't it? Oh my God, I could talk for hours on it. You know what? I think the world needs more, acceptance. I think acceptance is huge at every level. Yeah. Within the family. Yeah. Within our social circles, within workspaces, yep. Even at the larger kind of, across, continental divides, if you will. Like it's in the world, there needs to be acceptance in regards to our abilities, in regards to our contributions, but even down to the granular level, like I said, the family, in patience. And I think that kind of is a core attribute that we don't usually look at, and we need to kind of, it's where I always bring up the idea of self-love and, awareness and what we can all bring to the table. Totally. And in such a fast-paced world nowadays, we're always on the go. Yep. We need to just stop and breathe and accept where we are in life, and maybe that's okay. Yeah. I just think that's one of those beautiful, beautiful topics that needs to be discussed more.
Totally. Mm-hmm. I love that. How does that portray, what has your experience been around that in your family or for yourself? Where has acceptance really played a role? Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you, as you mentioned in my bio, I'm from Toronto, Canada. Yep. And I've worked in media for 25 years on the print journalism side, and I've been a contributor to many. And I think, accepting the person that you are and where you are at the time. I had a really, and I'm sure we go into this, but I had a heart attack at age 39. Oh, wow. And as a mom of 2 boys, and at that time I was the very, top of my kind of career in the media world, in journalism, and it was all go, go, go. And I'm the type of woman, as a lot of women and men want to do everything. Yep. And I think we need to, sit back and, realize and recognize that all of these different things we do are only adding to our stress levels. And if we do not, then something else can happen. And that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't accept the fact that I was already doing too much, but I was still pushing myself to the brink. Yeah. And, by not accepting the fact that I was already good enough and I was enough at work, at home, in my own career aspirations, I pushed myself, and that led to me, having this heart attack that really, literally knocked me off my feet. And it was something that, again, we talk about, and we've had these conversations about the connection between mind, body, and emotional pressures we put on ourselves. And that's what all led to me realizing that I had an electrical issue in my heart at age 39 that I didn't know about. But it was stress levels that kind of, added on to that. And that's what happened. And if I had have accepted the fact that I am enough in all of these areas without having, that, I don't know, that realization that was really a physical wake-up call, then I might have not even experienced it, and I guess at the end of the day, that's where acceptance comes into play. I think we need to take a step back, and we need, especially as moms, but especially as parents, as professionals, and we need to really digest what we have actually accomplished in life. Because I think that's, again, comes back to, pushing ourselves to the brink. And everybody does. You don't even have to be in media or any of those kind of jobs to know that, your physical wellness is based on your emotional wellness. And that's where that, connection comes in. So accepting where you are, accepting other people, and perhaps maybe even where they are in their life, and not, putting pressure on other people, like whether it's our kids or whether it's colleagues, accepting their contributions and just where they are in life. I think that's just been a theme for me for the last several years. And being accepted into new roles or into new cities, just having an open heart.
I love that.
I
love that.
Yeah.
Acceptance. Question 2. What is your wow factor? What makes you uniquely you, and what are some of the moments that help shape it?
Wow, that's a big one too, isn't it? Oh my goodness. What's my wow factor? Well, I mean, definitely a go-getter. I guess you'd say that. I don't know if it's a wow factor, but maybe I bring my Canadian roots into everything. I'm here in the U.S. now, in Denver, based there. Love to travel. Maybe it's, my worldly aspirations. That's a wow factor, I guess, from my end, that I like to, bring my offerings to the table and abilities, but then I also like to digest what other people are bringing. And I think that comes into even my management style. I'm very receptive and open. So I guess that's a wow factor. Maybe I'm a boy mom. That's a wow factor. And, I've had to, I have a lot of testosterone around me in the house. And, just, learning to be a mom and to juggle work and social obligations and, maybe approaching it in a different way since my heart issue as well. I think that would be a wow factor for me, I think. I don't know. If you ask my friends, or my husband, they might say something different, but that's what I can say, patience.
I love it. I love it. What is a moment that made you feel incredibly humble?
Let me think. It's interesting. My mom passed away 8 years ago, and I was very, very, very close to her and my sister, very close-knit family. And I think that my mom passing was humbling for me. And it's an interesting way to look at it. It just made me really realize how short life is, and that, to appreciate every moment. And I think that was humbling, because now I look at my relationship with my boys in a unique and new light because of that, because we're very close. And, things can happen kind of on a turn of a dime. And I think it humbled me in that moment, knowing that I won't have my mom here. She's here with me in spirit, but not physically. And it humbled me knowing that I'm going to have to now lead the charge with my boys and make sure that our relationship is just as close as mine was with my mom. And it just put things into perspective, because I knew that moving forward, I had to step up. Because, when you have your mom in your life, or in my case anyway, everyone's different, but she was my rock, if you will, for me and my sister. And I think that it humbled me, and it made me think, wow, now I have to do this. I have to be this rock for my family. And I have to also be that rock for my sister, who's younger than I, and, and be there for my dad. I'm the oldest of the two of us. And it humbled me. It really did. And I still, obviously, to this day, think about her every day. And she's with me all the time.
Yeah.
And I often think about what would my mom say, or she was a rock. I mean, she just supported me in everything I did. She passed away when I was halfway through writing my book.
Oh, wow.
She knew the whole concept around my book and sharing my heart health story. She just knew that I was very, very big on sharing people's stories and getting the truth out there. And I just think that has stayed with me ever since. And knowing she's there with me has humbled me, because she was always that authority in that space for me.
Yeah.
Because she always encouraged me to tell my story and my truth. So yeah, I think my mom's passing would probably be one of those reasons for sure.
Wow. Wow. That makes so much sense too. I heard a quote one time where they said, when a son's father passes away, a new part of him evolves. And same thing for a woman. When a woman's mother passes away, it's a call to a deeper part of yourself. Exactly what you said, that, wow, I have to now own this space that
Yes.
she once held for me in my life. I had a friend who did not have a good relationship with her mom, and she's like, well, not for everybody.
No.
And it's like, but
course
for
not.
those of us who that space was held by them, it creates a new space that we have to learn how to fill, or how to step into, or how to own ourselves. That's a big moment in life.
And I think it's true of, exactly, everyone's different, and not
Totally.
everyone has those relationships with their parents at all. But it could also be a humbling moment where, like, maybe your children move off to college or they're growing up.
Yep.
It's humbling as a parent.
Yep.
I mean, you have to think, wow, I'm not the center of their universe anymore. They actually have a life. And it's actually humbling. Like, you're like, wow, I've dedicated, 18 years of my life to being their mom.
Yep.
And now because I'm saying this because my eldest has gone off to college, and, he's his own person.
Yeah.
And I think it's very humbling. You think,
Totally.
what is my purpose?
Yep.
And, some people, they throw themselves into other projects, philanthropy or work or relationship, whatever it is, travel. But it's still a humbling process, because you realize that your worth and self-worth in certain roles evolves. And I think that's another example that's really happening right now in my current life, is that it's humbling. And it's like, wow, I did play an amazing role, but now my older son is like, he is his own person, and he has to now go on and he has to take the legacy of what I've helped him with and basically apply that to parts of his life.
Totally.
And, knowing that my mom set the stage for that for me, and then I'm passing along those kind of values, if you will, to my children, I think that is a humbling process. It's a proud moment, but it makes me, look inward about my contributions in that way. And I only can hope that I did the best I could. It's kind of crazy.
It's putting it to the test.
It is.
It's there's something also. There was an Instagram meme that caught my attention. It was funny. It said, "No one prepares you to go from mama to mommy to mom to bruh."
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And it's a journey and evolution, though. And like it said, no one really prepares us. No one sits there and tells you there's going to be these evolutionary moments, and they're humbling. Because, at one point, as mama, or that first point, you're everything in their world. My mom, or I'm sorry, my wife is everything in my son's world right now. Like, he falls, it's mom. He's hungry, it's mom. He's tired, it's mom. It's like, I can go and try to be everything he needs, and he looks me straight in the face, and he's like, I want mommy. And she tells me, she's like, you help him, I need a break. And I was like, he stares me dead in the face and tells me he wants you.
And that'll continue, because I find that the same in my household. Like, there's just certain things they come to mom for. And even at, like, my youngest is going to be 14 in a few weeks, and my eldest, like I said, is 18 and a half. And, they're 5 years apart. And there are certain things they will still always come to mom with. My oldest will call me from college, and he'll be like, Mom, just checking in. And, that's humbling in itself, because I hear that he doesn't have to call me and, every night or whenever, every couple of days, but he does, to check in. And I'm like, wow, that is so sweet that you're doing that, because it's not me always having to go after and find out how he's doing. And I think that, it's a testament to how he wants to live his life, but also it's a testament to my relationship with my mom myself and how I pass that along,
Yeah.
but also again that evolution of role.
Yep.
You know, like I can let him be for a couple days, but he'll call me and chat after that. So, yeah, I think it's very humbling, and I think maybe it's an age thing for me. Like
Yeah.
you get to a certain age where you realize what's important
Yep.
and how your contributions can, remain hopefully in the minds of others.
Yep.
And yeah, I love it.
I love that. What's an awe-inspiring moment that you've had?
Oh wow, that's a good one. Awe-inspiring. I think moving to the U.S. was a big one for us. All four of us are Canadian.
Yeah.
We're all Canadian. So, it was an awe-inspiring moment to move cities, move countries. A lot of people do it. But it was awe-inspiring when I saw that the kids and myself and my husband landed on our feet in a new place. And it was really awe-inspiring to see how the kids, you know, persevered and also made new friends and really got up to speed on how American, kind of lifestyle was compared to Canada. I mean, a lot of people don't think it's necessarily.
It's different.
Some people don't think it's not. How different can it be?
It's different.
But it is different. And I mean, my one, like they were only like 5 years old and 10. I mean, they were young enough. They had to change spellings of, words, color, flavor, learn the national anthem. But I mean, we're talking little ones, but it wasn't just that. It was awe-inspiring to see how much they really did settle in.
Yep.
And then when I came, we moved for my husband's job. So at the time, I left my journalism and my media role in Toronto.
Oh, wow.
And when we came to Denver, I had to basically start from scratch, building my network. I didn't know actually anyone.
Wow.
I just came to network. And so it was awe-inspiring to find out that there were so many amazing people in Colorado that were willing to open their arms to me, to network, to get me involved in the industry again, and I think those relationships, even though they weren't built from my university days or my younger years, they've now gone on to inspire me to do bigger things. Hence, meeting obviously Amy Somerville at Success. I met her in Colorado, and I mean, there's just those awe-inspiring moments of knowing there's really good people out there that will accept you from wherever you come from or whatever stage of life you're in. And I think that to me is awe-inspiring for sure. Relationships.
I love that.
Definitely.
I love that. What's your greatest fear?
Wow, that's a good one too. And I'm not going to say getting old because I don't mind getting old. I think that's something not to be feared. I think my greatest fear is maybe not being able to contribute to certain things in the way that I want to. And I try very hard in work, and people would call me a workaholic. A lot of us are. But I want to be able to get my message across in anything I do. And that's why I started my storytelling platform, RedLilyLife.com, because I wanted to share women's stories. And it's actually evolved into men's and women's now anyway. It's just kind of anyone who wants to share their personal story. But I think that I'm fearful that I won't necessarily get that reach that I want to get, and I'm hoping that happens. But I know there's more there. And so little by little, I chip away at it as a passion project. But I'm fearful that I won't make an impact like I really want to. And maybe I'm just being too absorbed there or something. But hopefully my impact along the way will make just as much impact as I'm envisioning it should.
The ripple.
The ripple effect.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that.
What are you excited about for your future?
Well, I'm excited to be with the Success team, that's for sure. No doubt about it. I see the potential there. I think that for the future, as, my kids grow and as I get more involved with the Success team and Success Enterprises, and also where, we work as a team there, I think that's really exciting for me. I look forward to traveling more and being able to work with groups of people and collaborate where we can also, and maybe that's part of it. You talked about the fear before. maybe what has to happen is I need to evolve with others in
Mm.
order to get that message out there in a larger scale.
Yep.
I think my fear was always I know what I'd like to get out there. And
Yeah.
as I meet amazing people like yourself and others, and we do share a lot of the same sentiments, maybe that's how I go about getting my message out there. I was fearful of not being able to do it on my own.
Mm.
And now I look forward to obviously collaborating with people and working with people who share that same vision.
Yep.
And I think that's what I look forward to. And then I also look forward to obviously seeing my kids grow and what they end up doing with their own lives.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that such a mystery?
it is.
You just wonder,
It
like you watch
is.
and just dream and like,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what they'll choose. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder how they'll navigate stuff.
Yeah, and it's empowering in its own way because again, going back to the whole you hope and pray and you pray that you've instilled those values and those right messages throughout their whole childhood.
Yeah.
And now it's empowering to see how they're going to utilize those and take those learnings
Yeah.
from a mom, from a family, and just see how it evolves. And, I've already seen things from my kids that have impressed me. And that's humbling too,
Yeah.
going back to your first question. It's very humbling to see that. But yeah, just being able to be a light in people's world, I really hope that in some way I can do that. Whether it's near or far, close friend groups, families, people I work with, or even just like from afar hearing this message now with you or on my platforms, if I can be a little light in people's life in some way, that's all I aspire to do in life. So
I love that. I love that. This next section we call nuts and bolts, and it's just kind of more tactical, tangible, day-to-day type stuff. I love this section, though. So the first question is, what do you focus the majority of your thoughts, time, and life on each day right now?
wow, that's a big one too. See, we could go on forever about these conversations. Right now, just because I just started with success, obviously a big focus of mine is jumping in.
Yeah.
I love a challenge, and I think that's kind of being brought out in several aspects of my career. Also, moving to the U.S. and starting from scratch, like I said, in a career aspirational way.
Yeah.
So I think right now, though, honing in on how I can contribute to a team that is so enthusiastic about what they do,
Yeah.
but also there's a lot of room for growth, and I think that's exciting. And it's one of those things I'm really focusing on in honing in on people's talents and being able to utilize them. So that's what I'm focusing a lot of my time and efforts on. But I'm also focusing on my own self-care. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I really wanted to work with this team, and being that we're global and we're work remote, as a lot of companies are now. And I think that was definitely part of my strategy in getting this next kind of position and opportunity, because that means so much to me in my own mental health in regards to not having to rush to an office every day. Because the time we spend doing that and adding extra stress on meeting, like getting there to clock in, was really getting to me personally, and I felt like my creativity might have been even stunted a little bit by that
100%.
pressure. And so now self-care has become top of mind, and I love to interact with people who also feel that way, because I think the more we can look at that on a personal level and implement that into our lives, the more productive we're going to be.
Totally.
Right? That's one of those things they say, if employees or if, colleagues are happier in their own personal lives and in the expectations on them from a workplace, the more productive they're going to be and the more happy they're going to be. And, then we can all progress in where we want to go. So
Totally.
self-care is huge for me right now, top of mind, literally down to scheduling some time for myself to get out with a dog, our pup, and take her for a walk, enjoy the Colorado, weather, and again, hone in on where I really want to go with what I'm doing.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
What is the key to your success?
Oh my goodness, my key to my success. Am I successful now? I don't know. I have so far to go. But I feel like, again, the key to my success, I think I would say relationships and connections. I think that I have been successful in maintaining good relations with everyone I've previously worked with
Yeah.
or interacted with. And I think that, not to say, everybody, but I'm just saying key people that, you will come across again.
Yeah.
I still give reference letters for people who I managed 20 years ago when they're changing jobs. And I think that's just a sentiment that, those relationships are still strong.
Yeah.
And so whether it's work related or personal, I really do believe in relationships, forevermore.
Yeah.
And, that would be a big key to my success is the networking and remembering people and what they do. And, if I can be, again, a help in someone's future in getting a job or just even making a connection or something to do with, introducing them to the right people.
Yeah.
I think that's been a key to my own success, because I think the bigger question too is not only the key to my success, but how I can become a success for others. And that in turn, I think makes me a success.
Totally.
Because of it's that helping other people. And that's a huge, huge goal of mine.
Totally.
So.
I love that. Final question. What is one actionable tip to help others achieve and experience the kind of success in their life that you've experienced in yours?
Well, I'm going to lead on, right from the whole networking and relationship building.
Yeah.
I think for people who are like students just coming out of college or starting their first job, I think it's maintaining those relationships and remembering people. I mean, as we move on in our careers, as we move on in relationships, there's certain things that, you just want to put behind you and move on.
Yeah.
But I think there's always, and maybe, for good reason, but maybe in the workplace, there's always going to be those people you remember, and they could help you along the way, especially your mentors.
Yep.
Just because you've moved on from a situation or a project or whatever, it doesn't mean that, things don't come full circle.
100%.
And I do feel strongly in that, and I will always reiterate that even to my kids today. You might have part-time jobs right now as a student, but don't forget, you don't want to burn any bridges.
That's right.
And I think if we can try to accept, going back to that whole messaging about accept people, and maybe the reason they came into our lives at that time, whether it's a boss or a boyfriend or just a friend, whatever, remain positive in thinking how they've contributed to your life at that time, because you never know when it's going to come back around and you might need that person. And I think so, again, one of those things is just reiterating those relationships. I think it's really important in connecting. Yeah, for sure.
That.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you for chatting with me. Hopefully you enjoyed this as much as I did.
I did. It was lovely. I could go on all day with you.
And thank you for everyone tuning in and listening. Share this with someone who needs it. Share this with someone who you believe would take this information and apply it in their life, and the world would be better because of it.